I'm going to put in a couple other minutes here. I have this great book called the Tarot Book, and it tells us so many things that we really need to know, as per se for the past, the Hebrew words, the original words. This is what the card looks like from the book. And I'm going to read at least the important parts to you that I think we all should understand. Okay, the Hebrew words throughout this book. The full means the ep in the Hebrew equivalent for the a. Numerical value is 1, even though it's the 0. It's believed by many to establish the time of invention of the alphabet as during the astronomical period called the Tauran Age, when the bull was the god symbol dominant in the leading religions of the world. Since oxen pull the plow and threshold the grain in primitive husbandry, besides pulling the carts which carried the farmer's produce to market, they became the symbols for the motive power in agriculture. Agriculture is a form of civilization, thus the ox represents the power at work in all forms of human adaptation and modification of natural conditions. Oxen again are symbols of wealth, as our own English objective, derived from the Latin pecus, which is cattle, clearly shows. Finally, oxen and bulls. The world over represents creative energy, life, power. The vital principle of plants, animals, and men, which comes to us in physical form as the light of the heat of the sun. The Hebrew name for this vital principle is Ruach. Its literal basically meaning is breath. Is equivalent to the English spirit, the Latin spiritus, and the Greek pneuma, and the Sanskrit prana. Now see, every English word that we use is made up of these 3 dialects. So wonder communications are so hard to work out in a plane that our whole subconscious and super subconscious know to understand to use correctly. All these words mean air or breath. They are designated the all-prevailing cosmic energy which animates every living creature. It's the mode of conscious assigned to breath keeps a fire alight in our bodies. In both Old and New Testaments we are told the Lord our God is a consuming fire, to define the primal mode of the life power. The first aspect of cosmic vital principle is impossible, yet wise men have ever agreed that it is like fire, and the most recent discoveries of modern physics demonstrate the fact that something, whereof all things are made, is a radiant fiery energy. Occultism adds the thought that energy is the working power of pure consciousness, which plays upon that energy, is inseparable from it, and directs all its manifestations from within. This idea of inherent direct consciousness, combined with current scientific explanation of the electromagnetic constitution of matter, gives precisely the completion which Kabbalists convey by the term scientillating, intelligence. Okay. The element is air, and the fiery life breath are represented by clear pale yellow. They are also used with Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury, which is attributed to the ep, and is represented by the pale yellow tint. The vibrational tone is E natural, and the English adaptation of the Greek word meaning sky. Furthermore, those who believe with the present that all language, and in consequence all accepted scientific nomenclature is an evolutionary process having its origin in the universal mind, may reach the conclusion that the noun uranium, derived from Uranus, is by no means a chance designation for the chemical element whence are derived through design and man-made elements like neptunium and plutonium, those terrible sky powers which appear at present to threaten the extermination of humanity in a frenzy of insane suicide. Yet these same powers, if rightly applied, so change our globe that it would become a veritable paradise. Ageless wisdom, in spite of all appearances to the contrary, hold fast to the conviction that the directing intelligence will work itself out in a human thought that new constructive uses for the sky power, going far beyond what most of us can now imagine, will bring to fulfillment the ancient promise of a new heaven and a new earth, peopled by regenerated humanity. Let's give it a go. The zero key elaborates the occult meaning of the F. Its number identifies it with no thing, whence all things proceed. The Kabbalists call this limitless light. In connection with the F, we find this light represented by the active principle of existence, prior to actual manifestation, which would be spirit. The picture of the fool, therefore, does not show the principle as it really is, because the absolute transcends finite comprehension. Yet the symbols show that it has revealed itself in a measure to the wise. The fool is a picture as a youth because we are obliged to think of the absolute in terms of our own experience. To our own minds, the life breath presents itself in human form, but behind this personal seeming sages discern something higher, typified in the picture by the white sun. The higher something is impersonal power manifesting as the limitless energy radiates to the planets of the world systems without numbers, streaming to them from their respective suns. And boy, hasn't that been something. Don't understand to know to believe what they have taught us to be factual about our cosmic universe, because it's not correct. In manifestation, this energy is temporarily limited by living organisms. Of these, the primary class is vegetable kingdom, represented by the green, and that the higher class of organisms is the animal kingdom, evolved from the vegetable world, and represents here by the rising from the ground is the symbol of aspiration and truth. They are the kingdoms they symbolize. The cosmic breath is forever young, forever in the morning of its power, forever on the verge of the abyss of manifestation. It is neither male nor female, hence the figure might be either a lad or a girl disguised. Always it faces unknown possibilities of self-expression, transcending any height it may have reached at a given time. On this account, the sun behind the traveler is at an angle of 45 degrees in an eastern heaven. The celestial sun remains forever in the spiritual world. The spiritual sun never reaches the zenith. For the zenith it would have to descend, and the idea here is that the infinite energy never can reach a point in manifestation whence it must begin to decrease in power. On that account, too, the fool faces the northwest, toward a direction for the Masonic and other occult reasons has for millenniums been symbolic of the unknown, and the state just prior to the initiation of creative processes. So use your ideas wisely and in good intent. This traveler is eager in gaze and fixed rapturously on a distant height, beyond and above him. He is that which was, and is, and shall be, being in the now. The deathless, fadeless life principle subsiding internally behind all modes of existence, which means your spirit. The robe, let's see, okay. The Hebrew characters are the divine name, IHVH, which is Jehovah. The name, according to the Kabbalists, is represented by the three parts of the human character of the letters F, A-L-E-P-H. The undergarments are concealed by a black coat of ignorance, lined with a red of passion, fire, and material force. The outer garments it wears is embroidered with what seems to be floral decoration, but the unit of design, repeated 10 times, is a yellow wheel containing 8 red spokes. Around the wheel are 7 green trefoils. The yellow of the wheel represents the air or breath. The 8 red spokes combine the number of 8, symbol of rhythm, with the color red, and refers to the rhythmic action of fiery activity which sets the life breath into whirling, wheeling motion. The 7 trefoils are green color of organic life in the vegetable kingdom, the particular color of the planet Venus in color symbolism. Each trefoil represents one of the 7 spirits of God, which would be your chakras, and the one of the 7th rays of the universal creative energy, as above so below. These trefoils, because every one of these 7 force rays has a triple expression. A, the integrating, B, the equilibrating, and C, disintegrating. There are 10 repetitions of this unit of design to refer to ancient doctrine that all manifestation is in 10 aspects or phases, 10 infallible numerations, 10 and not 9, 10 and not 11. As the Book of Formation says, in one of these wheels near the bottom of the coat is placed the Hebrew characters for the letter Shin, which could be sin if we use the English idea of the word. It's the connection of the letters between Ept and Shin, which are both alphabetical symbols of the fiery life breath or Holy Spirit, which we all contain and we all have, and we're using hopefully to the best of our ability. In addition to these 10 wheels, there is on the right breast a yellow circle enclosing a triple flame of red. This represents the state of life breath prior to manifestation, when the universal energy, yellow, although it has the triple potency of expression, the triple flame within itself, has not yet organized the potency into the rhythmic whirling motion which is the basis of all modes of expression. So everything is still an idea. On the fool's right shoulder, the golden 8-pointed star, close to the silver lunar crescent, there are sun and moon, gold or silver, of the alchemist. They refer also to Surya, the hot electric solar current of the prana described in the books on yoga, and to Rayi, the cool magnetic lunar current of the same prana. Fundamentally, there are 2 modes of the one life breath. Their activity is both universal and principal. In humanity, they are active in the nerve currents of the physical body. The black wand over the fool's right shoulder is a measuring tool. It supports a wallet having a flap sewn with 10 stitches. The lock on this flap is the form of an eye. On the wallet below the flap is a picture of an eagle. The wand is a symbol of will, of which attention the wand itself, in the essence to which memory, the wallet, is closely linked. The wallet contains this summoned up experience of previous manifestations, because at the beginning of every new cycle of self-expression, the life power carries it with the essence of all its experiences in the former cycles. So keep an eye on your egos, people. The lock of the wallet is in the form of an eye, which stands for the all-seeing eye, of the Freemasonry for the Eye of Horus in Egyptian symbolism. It suggests also that through the development of a higher type of vision, we may gain access to the treasure of stored up experience in the universal memory. The 10 stitches on the flap have the same meaning as the 10 wheels on the coat that refer to the 10 types of vision or higher perception developed by occult practices. The eagle refers to the zodiac sign Scorpio. Thus it imitates the wand and wallet together to be understood in the phallic emblems, referring to the natural processes whereby the accumulated experience of life power is passed from cycle to cycle, through the endless chain of living organisms. In occultism, however, moreover, The awakening of the higher vision symbolizes the eye on the flap of the wallet is brought about by practices which redirect and sublimate sublimate the bodily forces related to astrology in the sign of Scorpio. The rose in the hand is white to indicate freedom from the lower forms of desire and passion, also to show that it refers to the spiritual prototype of desire. It is a cultivated flower, showing, as do other details of this fool's vesture and equipment, that he has come from a previous scene of cultural activity from a plane somewhere behind him on his journey, whereas this corresponding to the F, the fool symbolizes cultural activities. At the waist, the robe is encircled by a girdle having 12 circular ornaments, which is 7 are visible. It refers to the 12 signs of the zodiac, which are expressing the powers of the 7 heavenly bodies known to the ancients. Thus, the girdle typifies time, and since the belt must be removed in order to take off the coat, here is a plain imitation that to rid ourselves of ignorance and passion we must overcome the illusion of time, which, as Kant long ago proved, purely a creation of human intellect. A practical occultist learns to replace time by eternity and practices daily, accustom himself to leading the timeless life. More power to us, right? The citrine or olive of the fool's hose, the tint varies in versions, refers to the element of earth, and to the 10th numerical or aspect of the life power, which Kabbalists call the kingdom. His yellow shoes refer to the element of air, which is the vehicle of life power. The icy peaks of the distance show the cold, abstract principles of mathematics are above and behind all the warmth, colorful, vital activities of the cosmic manifestation. There's also a little white dog, is a descendant of wolves and jackals. Thus he is a human adaptation, whereby something given in a wild and dangerous state, but the unmodified process of nature has been changed into a friend, helper, and companion. He also indicates the truth that is the subhuman form of life powers are elevated and improved by the advance of human consciousness. Finally, for this symbolic reason, going back to ancient Egypt, it is a symbol of intellect, subordinate, or superconsciousness. The fool then will symbolize that in this key the tarot calls the state of first Emanation, which is like the giving step, having faith, trust, step off into the wild blue yonder and see what happens. There is no time, it doesn't matter. As the primary aspect of universal consciousness, which we term superconsciousness, he is the cosmic life breath about to descend into the abyss of manifestation. Because he symbolizes the state of life power just prior to the beginning of a cycle of self-expression, he also represents inexperience. So it's field trip time. For until the life power actually enters into the particular activities of such a cycle, it can have no real experience of those activities. It is because of this inexperience that the supple wise man who invented the tarot and this key, the fool, another reason was they were familiar with the philosophic truth and that super subconsciousness is above reason, imagination, thought, feeling, and other states of self-consciousness. The mystical theology of Dionysius, therefore, says of God, he has neither imagination nor reason, nor does he know anything as it is, nor does anything know him as he is. Apply these words to a man and you call him a fool. Furthermore, they attempt to limit divine consciousness to personality. Making God a big man is mentally to create a foolish divinity. Finally, the title is zero refers to that foolishness of God which is wiser than men. This means that although superconsciousness has no actual experience of those facts and events, which are the warp and woof of human knowledge, its inherited awareness of the principles of its own nature far transcends the limits of human wisdom. So 0 to me is the fool that we must just surrender to the now and understand that we're not going to know it all. We're never going to know it all. But we're going to have at least the opportunities to investigate it, to experience it, and to try to create something from it, just from the fact of the faith of its being, or our being, so that something comes up, something's offered you, you may not have ever done it before, but it's something that you are newly here to investigate, to use, to have breath, to get through it, to understand that none of us are in control here, that we are all part of a system that is rising, not descending. And so for the true tranquility of existence, go out and just be. Do something new. Try not to overreact, because you really don't know what the intent of the situations are, because the occurrences, because of the understanding or misunderstanding of what it is that's going on. We all are a fool, and I don't mind, because if we don't know and we're here to learn, then when we get the teachings and the knowledge, we then go to the magician. And then number 1, the magician is also those new beginnings from those past experiences or non-experiences. So with every breath you take, give thanks, because this is your consciousness trying to make something out of the subconscious, and then the super subconscious. So as above are omnipresent, as the divine right order, and then us. So know that it's all in divine right order, no matter how rough, tough, and nasty it may seem. Everything is a cause and effect, and we're seeing the effects from the causes. So just know that if your intent is pure and you're not out harming anybody, and you are having a good time just because you're finding that joy, peace, and unconditional love, then that's where you're supposed to be. So I hope you enjoyed the Fool. There's 20 some more cards to go, but today is the Fool Day, as the sun is trying to peek out over and through the clouds, and we do our hum, our om, and our zenning breath. Just know, unconditional love, the whole thing, the whole way, and then your peace will come to you. Love you guys.